Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon. We're glad you're here with us on this June 8th on EOAlive. Glad you're here. How are you doing, man?
What's up? Good morning.
Are
I'm
you
awake. Barely.
uh,
ABC, why can't your nose be 12 inches long?
why is that?
Because then it would be a foot.
Oh, brother. Is that like your dad joke for the day or for the week?
That's a good one. I like that one. Well, yeah, that's a good one. I crack up when I see that one.
Did you
Stupid
tell your
jokes.
kids that joke yet?
No,
No.
I don't tell my kids jokes like that. They won't laugh.
They're
They're between 12 and 16. They would think that I was dumb.
no, that's the whole point of dad jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays don't have time for that, BC. They don't want to hear no dumb jokes.
They don't want to hear no dumb joke. Yeah, you're gonna need to look up the whole definition of what a dad joke is.
They have the internet. They've heard everything pretty much. It's not like when we were kids where
Oh, trust me, they've not heard that joke. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They'd go like, yeah. I mean, I always have and even now I get a special amount of pleasure when my kids go, "Oh, Dad," like it's like, "Oh, that was not funny. That was such a dad joke." So
yeah, I always hit them with dumb puns too. Like, I was wondering why the ball was getting bigger. Then it hit me.
yeah. See, that's a good one.
I played baseball with this kid in I think it was like 4th grade or 5th grade. It was before I moved to Oregon. And he was a monster. I mean, he was like over 6 foot, biggest kid out there, like really big. And he was playing right field. He didn't have the greatest coordination. I mean, he was like 4th or 5th grade, and he was that big, so he's kind of clunky, And a fly ball came, and that ball kept getting bigger, and it went right over the tip of his glove and hit him right smack dab in the forehead. He never came back. I never seen him at baseball again.
That was it.
One time, once you get hit in the face with a baseball, it's like football. Once you get the snot knocked out of you in football, you know if you want to play football or not. Once you get hit in the face with a baseball, you know if you want to play baseball or not.
Yeah. Did you? I'm sure you did. I think you posted just that guy who got hit in the face.
Oh, Kevin Pillar. Yeah, that was nasty. He was back like 4 days later.
Yeah.
He's got like a special mask, but yeah, his nose blew up. It was,
Yeah.
You don't wish that on anybody. I don't mind getting hit by a ball anywhere but the face.
Well, and it's funny because you can't, getting away from, I don't know, what was that, a 90-mile-an-hour ball?
94.
Yeah. 94. Yeah. Getting away from a ball like that is just,
it's
he
almost
moved.
Impossible.
He saw it coming. Yeah. He moved and it still hit him,
Think about those guys that pitch slow pitch. Those guys got cojones, man. They're like, 40 feet away or something like that. And these guys are grown men with bats that are made to hit missiles. And, you can control where you hit the ball pretty well in slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you make a mistake. A guy will try to pull, he'll try to hit something opposite field and accidentally hit it right up the middle. And, ooh, gosh. Ooh.
So and I guess I'm uninformed. Slow pitch.
Yeah, it's the fat beer drinker league, like where old people play.
Like if
you throw the ball way up in the air.
Yeah, okay. And you're saying that's awful because the pitcher can catch a ball. Can
get a lot of times the pitcher will pitch it and then he'll run backwards. Seriously. I'm not joking because the ball's in the air for a little while and you don't want that ball coming back at you. About 15 years ago, they had these bats. They're outlawed now. They had 3 walls. So you'd have the ball would hit one of the walls, it would smack into the next wall, it would smack into the next wall, and then it would all come back.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? So the ball would just bounce off the bat, and people were getting hurt, killed, and then they outlawed triple wall bats. But still, if you got a grown man swinging a softball bat, it's 28 ounces. It's not that big, and these balls are hard. And man, I mean, Cody's watching. He can attest. He coaches softball. He knows how fast the bat comes off the ball comes off the bat for softballs, and put a grown man on that, and it's scary. It's not. Yeah. I wouldn't pitch in slow pitch softball. No way.
Yeah. Well, seems like you could have one of those barriers, those cutout fences like that they use for, but I guess
an L screen. No, because you have to field your position too. A lot of guys will wear a mask. Yeah. You'd be about dumb if you didn't wear a cup. I can tell you that. I mean, although there's like 3 or 4 of us on my baseball team that never wore a cup. I didn't like it the way it rubbed. I didn't wear a cup when I was pitching or playing first. See, I just figured get your glove in front of it.
See, and I guess that's one of those things. Is like, you just have one incident and you wear a cup.
Yeah, I never had that incident, thankfully. Yeah. But my catcher, Robert Mahon, I put him in the hospital, and he had a cup on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad one. It skipped off the plate, and I mean, you heard it. It sounded like a firecracker going off, and he went straight to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not good. We've told the story on the Johnny Ballgame show when he was on there. Yeah.
That sounds ugly, man.
Maybe I was doing the world a service, though.
Why's that?
I don't know if he could have kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he'll haunt you.
No, he's still one of my really good friends, and trust me, I felt horrible about it for a really long time. I still feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's windy out there, man. It's kind of different. Yeah.
It's sunny, though. It's not raining.
That's true. It's breezy, but it still feels it was cold this morning. I mean, not cold, but cold for June, I
had my air conditioners on for about a day and a half.
Yeah. So it's supposed to get up to 70 today.
A little bit of drizzle in the afternoon. Isolated showers in the evenings.
Yeah.
Wind gusts up to 30. That's not good for golf.
Yeah. And then tomorrow,
almost identical.
Yeah.
A little bit of precipitation in the evenings, about the same amount of wind. Close to, it's not going to get quite as warm, but pretty much the same day.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
not bad weather.
I wonder it's funny because I never thought about this until we had a weather kid, but weathermen get blamed for the weather, and
that's because they own it. Look at that confidence that he has on his face. He's just like, this is my weather. Well, if you're going to own it, you're going to get blamed for it. I mean, if I was a weather guy, I'd be all passive. I'll be like, yeah, I got this weather from this dude in Portland secondhand. So here.
I can't really tell you whether it's credible or not.
What do we always say? Deniability makes you avoid accountability. Like, I don't know. If I don't know, you can't hold me accountable. Don't tell me your secrets because I don't want to know them. I don't want to know your weather. Don't tell me.
Yeah, there are times I've seen you walk out of a room like, I'm sorry, I'm out.
Don't tell me. Know. Yeah, I don't want to hear it because once you know it, you can be held accountable. Nope.
Nope. Well, it's a good day.
It is. Is it Thursday? No, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, that interview with Bence was interesting yesterday. I don't know.
It was short.
Yeah. Well, and the technical problems that we had, it just really aggravated me, kind of shook me up. But
that's all right. It worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are having Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen this week. That'll be on. Wait, is that supposed to be today, Cody? Yeah. I might have put it in my calendar wrong. I think it's Thursday, but I'll call him after and figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it in the calendar for today, but hopefully it's Thursday.
He's this week.
Though. He is this week. So, yeah, if you want to ask Cody some questions this week, tune in. It'll be at 5:30, I think Thursday. We'll figure it out.
All righty. Well, hey, we have Elijah Romer with us today. Cody says
there we go. Yeah. All right. I put it in my calendar wrong. I was starting to sweat bullets. I thought it was today. I'm like, I'm not even prepared. I haven't even put out a teaser yet.
Yeah. So Elijah, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Brent.
Yeah, you bet. Elijah is a part of the Mira Single Track Club. Did I say that right?
Blue Mountain Single Track Club. But yeah,
Okay,
that's all right.
but the single track is at Mira for people that might not
That's right.
understand exactly what that is, and
That's
because
right.
that I don't know, for me, that was a new term. Uh,
Hmm.
a new term for bike trail. That was
Yep.
the old school definition. But no, so we're glad that you're here with us. You are a serious biker, more so than most folks.
Yeah.
Um, um, and so why don't you have a couple of things coming up? Tell us what's going on, Elijah.
Yeah. So as most of you know, June 21st is summer solstice, and the Blue Mountain Single Track Club is just trying to get people off to a good start. Schools are done, and we're trying to get adults and kids both up on Mira having a good time. So for the month of June, on Monday nights, starting at 5:30, we're hosting free kids races. Um, Super beginner friendly. It's just exposing kids to the idea of mountain bike racing. We had our first one last night, and it was a total blast. We had 10 kids on Strider bikes. So those are kids 5 and under, no pedals, just using their feet to cruise. It's a 1/4 mile course, so parents can watch the entire thing. And the energy and excitement was it was palpable. Then we had a 16 and under race for kids with pedals, and we let those kids do 2 laps, and again, just crushing it. We had a photo finish at the end. There was this girl charging up on this boy, and it was just right at the finish. She swung by and pulled through, and it was incredible. And then we did 4 laps of adult racing as well. It's all free. Again, it's just about getting people stoked to be up on Mira and taking advantage of this beautiful mountain that we have in our backyard.
So where is that? I mean, for people that have been to the Mira parking lot,
Yep.
and I can't. Where is that open area even at, where they can see the track? Where have you guys put that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So to be clear, it's up at the Owsley Canyon entrance there. That's what I consider to be the main Mira entrance, right?
Yeah.
And there's the restrooms there. And if you just go into the main parking lot, you will see people. There's actually a picnic table there now,
Right.
With a little cathedral area. And there's the kids' pump track is right there. And basically the 1/4 mile circuit is just right around the pump track. So we had a lot of grandparents and parents sitting on the picnic tables just cheering and watching the whole thing. Yeah.
So just right there.
Literally right there.
So that's all new then. You guys have been, I mean, when did you guys put the pump track and stuff there?
No, it's been there. It's been there. It's just getting people to see it, I guess. It's really easy to overlook. There's a road that goes down on the left-hand side as you're going down. And a lot of times people just take that road and go off in deeper into Mira and miss that whole section that's just right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never been there.
Yeah.
Well, come up next Monday, man, and check it out. It's a great vibe. Like I said, it was crazy cool watching those 5 and under kids just crushing it, and no fear. I mean, I was afraid. I was doing the dad thing, waiting for someone to go over a bank turn, and they were into it. It was super rad.
Wow. And that were they Strider bikes? That's kind of a cool. So, I mean, are there kids who know how to ride a bike and pedal, but choose to use Strider bikes? Is that kind of a thing?
Yeah, that's my son's one of those. So he calls his Strider bike his trick bike. I started him on a Strider bike when he was 2. And so he's been doing that for years. He rides a pretty big pedal bike, and he loves that as well. But he wanted to do the Strider race because it's just fun, because you can drag your feet and really get into it in a way that you'd be a little more hesitant on a pedal bike, I think.
So almost like, so once you have the momentum, it's almost a little bit like riding a motorcycle or something.
100%. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Getting your foot out into the bank corners. And that's right.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's cool.
That sounds cool. All right. So
BC, I want to see you ride one of them bikes and take a jump.
Yeah.
A small jump. We don't want you to die, but I mean, I'd like to see a little bit of dirt. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, Brent,
So-
if you want, I can get you a bike rental from the Mountain Works, and we can slam that seat and just drag your feet. I'm down. But Kyle's got to do it with
Right,
you. This isn't-
Well, you know,
I'm not doing it.
I was just trying to think of the mechanics of that. You know,
Yeah.
having. I mean, do they have Strider bikes for adults? Is that something that people do? No.
No, but
Okay.
You
but
could.
they do have dropper posts on mountain bikes now, which is where you take your seat and you can slam it down. So when you're going downhill. And so what I'll do is I put my dropper seat down all the time, and then I Strider bike with my son. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And we'll Strider bike around town just on my normal mountain bike.
Oh, I see.
Don't you hit your legs on the pedals when you do that?
You got to be a little careful. Yeah, you kind of wide leg it, but I mean, you're coasting for most of it, right?
Yeah.
Man, I remember when I was a kid when the chain would come off and you'd bust your shin.
Hit your shins right on it. Yeah, that's the worst. I've got
It hurts
scars.
just thinking about it.
I've got scars on both my shins from doing that.
Well, and what's funny is that not funny, but it's just what's interesting about biking. It has emerged and advanced so much. I mean, the machinery and the equipment, but everybody has ridden a bike. I mean, everybody started riding a bike as a kid, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
And I mean, I still love riding bikes. I mean, I bought a really nice bike probably 20 years ago, and I think it still has those little knobby things on the sides of the tires that hasn't been ridden enough, you know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, it's time to get it out. Come race with us on Monday night.
Yeah. Well, now do they use those fat tire bikes? I don't know, talk a little bit about mountain biking in general. What kind of equipment do people need to get into that?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, that could be a show in itself. The short story is anything works, right? From that bike you're referring to the latest and greatest. There's certainly the fat bike, the wider tires has become a bigger thing. Full suspension bikes. You have varied wheel sizes, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you can get on. It's Lance Armstrong wrote a book. It's not about the bike. You know, the great thing about the Mira trails is there's everything from super simple, beginner friendly kid stuff to super technical, steep downhill. But I would say that the majority of people are riding kind of a mid-size mountain bike tire, and then a combination of hardtail and softtail or full suspension bikes.
And so so you confused me right there. I thought hardtail was no suspension in the rear.
That's correct. That's right. Yep. So I'm just saying it's both, and really that comes down to cost, hardtail versus full suspension.
And it's funny because I've watched a couple of Facebook videos of guys who build tracks in their backyard and do stuff. And I just didn't get it. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, and I mean, it's a serious thing. I mean, it's incredible. And, we're starting to build a lot more features and things of that nature up at Mira. And it's really cool to see the kids who are up and coming. Those fearless kids, man, they're taking it to the next level. The jumps up there just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the kids just keep getting better and better and better. And notice I said kids, not me. I'm fast. I like to go far. I like to work out, but those kids launching in the air that's a whole nother level that. Well, and again, I didn't know it until I watched these videos, but in big racing tracks, areas, whatever, I mean, the tracks are graded almost like skiing. So in difficulty. And so what is the plan for the tracks that you guys are building up there? Kind of where, in that, from these really developed tracks that are all graded and everything, where are you guys hoping that Mira is going to fit into that?
Everything, all accessible. I mean, it's a multi-use recreation area, so we're still continuing. We have stuff for horses, we have stuff for hikers, we have stuff for runners. But then the Blue Mountain Single Track Club specifically, we're really pushing for some of the more Black Diamond technical trails.
Yeah.
So last summer we started this big Black Diamond project. We finished the bottom half, which is called Dirt Circus, and that's finished and it's phenomenal. I'd love to take you guys up and show you that. It's super technical, like straight downhill ladder bridges and gap jumps and everything. And so this summer we're finishing Upper Dirt Circus, right? So it's divided in half by a fire road. And so that upper half we're hoping to finish this summer. Some of that's going to depend on what kind of fire season we end up having. Once it gets too dry, we're done with equipment. We're down to hand tools only, and that, as you can imagine, slows down the progress. But as of right now, we're still able to use the mini excavator on that Upper Dirt Circus, and it's coming along really well.
So how does a normal person, a non-Black Diamond person, access a Black Diamond trail? I mean, do you have to walk it, or is there a easy route? I mean, how does that work?
No, you'd have to walk it. Yeah. Which is doable, or like come up for a work day or something and just kind of check it out and see some of the more technical sections.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because on that note, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is, so on Saturday, June 26th, we're going to be doing the Shuttle Day. And so that's going to be an opportunity for people who don't like to ride uphill to get a truck ride to the very top, right? And then you can descend down. And we're going to be doing that from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. But also during that time, we're going to have a bunch of club members up there, and we're going to be leading group rides. And we're also going to be doing a skills clinic. And so, kind of the broader answer to your question is, how do we help people get the skills they need to tackle something like that?
Right.
And so even with Dirt Circus being a Black Diamond trail, you don't have to be a professional cyclist to do it. You just have to have the skill set to know how to tackle that stuff. Okay. None of it's going to kill you. None of it's, expert only, right? It's just a matter of gaining those skills. So we're building out a lot of, we call them like teething trails, where you get used to these types of features, little 3-foot drops and things of that nature, so that you build up the confidence, because that's really all that it's about, to tackle some of these more technical trails.
So when you do a Black Diamond trail, are there places you can like stop and go a little bit further and stop? I mean, if you're just learning the thing, or is it pretty much you got to keep the momentum? I mean, clearly, the videos I've watched, the skill is that guys just start full speed, and they go top to bottom, and they just almost like a Baja race a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah. Only the trail, what the obstacles are, where the jumps or where the turns are. Mm-hmm. But how do you even begin to prepare yourself to learn that trail? Do you have a place to stop and go? And I don't know.
Yeah, a couple answers to that. I mean, one is speed is your friend, right?
Okay.
And so that's just something you learn on like the easy trails. And you just get to that point where you learn that like rolling up and over rocks at speed versus braking and like leaning forward is going to save you, right? So once you get it's all about building confidence. Okay. So once you're confident on that green, then you bump up to a blue, and by the time you're on a black, you're pretty confident. And to answer your question, there's going to be spots along the trail where you can stop and take a deep breath and compose yourself. But in the midst of those obstacles, you need to have the confidence to ride through it. It's the people who grab a handful of brake in the middle of a steep downhill. That's when accidents happen. So it's really just a confidence thing. There's nothing up there that's death defying. Like what you're talking about on YouTube videos, like some of that stuff's nuts, right? There's nothing in that category. But certainly need the confidence to ride through it without hesitation.
Yeah.
Well,
that sounds cool. And the coasting event.
The coasting event. Yeah. So June 26th, we're going to do a shuttle day. We'll have some flyers we'll send out to you. There's one other event that we're going to be putting on. So on Sunday, June 20th, that's actually Father's Day. We're going to do a Father's Day Stoic Challenge. And the idea there is for anybody not sure what they want to do with their Father's Day, head up to Mira and just make it a big day. I'm going to be leading some group rides. So I'm going to be riding from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's going to be my version of a big day. And throughout that time, I'm going to do a 6 a.m. Intermediate advanced ride. I'm going to lead that for 2 hours. Then I'm going to do a kids ride sometime in there. And then for the last hour from 5 to 6 p.m., I'm encouraging people to come up and ride my last lap. I'm going to do one Mira loop, which is about, I think it's 9 miles. I'm going to do one Mira loop for my final. So that's going to be my big day. I'm hoping to hit like 100 miles.
Wow.
We'll see how things unfold. But I really love this idea of turning holidays into activities versus an excuse to sit around and stare at each other.
Right.
And the reason I'm doing 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I know some people go to church Sunday morning or they do their thing or maybe they have a dinner, but it's like come up at any point and you just make it your own event. If you want to run, if you want to walk, hike, if you want to go up to Mira and have a picnic, have a 2-hour-long picnic, right? Just something active and outdoors, kind of celebrating. It's going to be the longest day of the year. And we're kind of going to use that to replace the Everest Challenge. So any of the people who tried climbing the Everest Challenge last year, you know, they can try to do one step better than they did last year. It's choose your own adventure.
Cool.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, I just wanted to you've been out of the area. Your wife is a physician here, and
That's right.
but you grew up here in this area, and you guys moved back here, and we've talked about this before. One of those reasons is because of the outdoors and Mira.
That's right.
Can you talk for a minute about how special it is for us to have an area like that? How is that unique? How unique that is, and so on and so forth, compared to other places where you might have been?
Well, first, I'd like to say thanks for that opportunity because you're absolutely right. I mean, we chose to move back here for Mira, for Mount Emily. We've had the opportunity to live in several different places across the United States. We lived in Hawaii for a year. We lived in Connecticut for 3 years. We lived in Portland. I just went down to Long Beach, California for a long weekend. I did a yoga retreat down there. And every time I leave this area, I come back just realizing how lucky and how blessed we all are to live in this valley with that mountain right there in our backyard. I mean, it's a 10-minute drive from my house. I can ride up there in 20 minutes. It's never busy up there. And just, you know, the feeling of being in the outdoors and the trees and breathing that fresh air. We have so many amazing vantage points up there at Mira. I mean, it doesn't take much of a hike at all. There's a 2-mile hike to this great, Forrest Warren is actually an old grade school teacher here. He just finished this shelter up there. It's a 2-mile hike from the parking lot. And you go up there and you just have the most gorgeous view of the entire valley. You can sit there and you can meditate for a little bit, have a picnic. Honestly, I have yet to be in a place that has everything that we have here in LeGrand, Oregon. And I'm just trying to help people in this community recognize the value of what we have here. I mean, my wife and I have truly just started once a week. We take a moment to just sit down and realize that we truly are living heaven on earth right here in this valley. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity. So just trying to get people excited, exposed, to know that it's there. And again, you don't have to be a cyclist. You can walk, you can hike, you can just go up there and hang out, you know. It's pretty amazing.
That's cool. And and the other piece of that is then when in the other places, and again, people won't understand this, but when you've lived in other places, what kind of a journey did you have to take in order to have access to the outdoors like you have here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we lived on Oahu, for example, because of the cost of living there, we had to live in the middle of the island. So it took me, best case scenario, 45 minutes to an hour to get to the beach, right? And that was your outdoor activity. You know, when we lived in Connecticut, they had a really great outdoor recreation area that was actually around all of their reservoirs. That was their city water, right? So they built up trees, and this was all manicured forest all around. But to get there was a half-hour drive. And then to find parking was a 50-50 shot whether you would or not, right? And then you were just surrounded by hordes of people, right? And that's how it was down in Long Beach, California, right? I went down there for this yoga retreat thinking, oh, this is going to be cool, right? And you go down there and there's just millions of people everywhere and people are blasting their radios and doing all this stuff. And I'm just going, oh my goodness, like how do people do this? The amount of stress versus, you know, oftentimes I'll wake up at 5 a.m. I'll ride up to Mira, I'll do a ride, and I'll be back before 7:30 so that my wife can go to work. And I have never lived anywhere where I could do something like that. And it's not like I'm going to a track or a man-made, you know, park or something of that, or an athletic gym. I am outdoor in the nature, you know, in nature. During the winter months, I'll be riding my bike out there on single track, and I'll hear elk bugling, right? Mm-hmm. Or we did a birthday party up at Mira for some 9-year-old kids a couple weeks ago, and there was this flock of swans that came right over the top of us, and they're calling to one another. And you're looking up, just going, "Is this real life?" You know, I mean, it's just it's incredible. And it's one of those things, like it's hard to get your kids and you load them up and you get up there, you go, oh, why am I here? But you never regret being there, even if it's only for 15, 20 minutes, right? It's just that opportunity to turn everything off, to shut down, and to get outside.
Yep. That's good. And I've been here 25 years, grew up in Wyoming. And I mean, there's lots of outdoor activities and that type of stuff. But even one of the things I was amazed about when I first moved here was that, I mean, during the right seasons, and I remember a time when I was, you know, literally 15 minutes from town and I saw elk. And and in Wyoming, that was we had to drive several hundred miles because the elk were in a different area than where we were at, you know, and so it was just, that's kind of when it first struck me as like, this is kind of unique. This is a unique location to where you can drive just a short period of time, a distance, and see almost everything except antelope or moose, you know.
That's right. That's right.
So it's just a unique area, and that is interesting.
And then we're so blessed, you know, I don't know if the grade schools here still do it, but when I was in grade school, we used to go up there and go wildflower picking, right? So like this time of year, the amount of wildflowers up there, and then you have the morel mushrooms, which you can actually eat, which is amazing. And then we're not very far from huckleberry season, right? And I take my kids up there every year, and we'll spend an entire day just picking huckleberries. So, I mean, nature's cool, and you always feel better being out there.
Well, cool. So give us the dates one more time of these different events, Elijah.
All right. So every Monday night for the rest of June, 5:30 p.m. at the Owsley parking lot, we're doing the kids races. Come one, come all. It's free. Check it out. You can race if you want to. You can just watch. No pressure. It's all about having fun. It's we're not handing out trophies. We're not handing out prizes. Just come check it out. Get your feet wet, right? Kyle's going to get a Strider bike for you. It'll be an early Father's Day present.
Yeah, I'll watch.
That's right. Or videotape. It could be a YouTube sensation.
There you go.
Sunday, June 20th, we're doing a Father's Day Stoic Challenge. Your biggest day on Mira, however you define that. Come up at any time between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Say hi, hang out. Would love to see folks up there. Then Saturday, June 26th, that's the big day for you, Brent. We'll get a bike for you, okay? We're gonna do Shuttle Day.
I'll pay to see it.
Okay. I'll even give you a lesson, Brent. Let's get you up there. We'll get you on a bike.
You have to bomb a black diamond on the first day.
That's right. Blindfolded.
No brakes.
Blindfolded.
Yeah.
So we're doing that Shuttle Day from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're hoping to get people to join the club. So that's $50 for an annual membership. But for those who don't want to, for whatever reason, we're charging $20 to run that shuttle all day. It's as many times as you want to go to the top and come back down. We're also going to be leading group rides for both adults and kids. We're going to be doing a skills clinic for the people who are ready to do the black diamonds or working their way up. And we're hoping to get a food truck up there as well. So that's just going to be a big party, June 26th.
Cool.
Yeah.
All righty.
Well, thank you both so much. I appreciate the opportunity
Yeah.
to come on, and I appreciate all that you guys are doing for this community as well. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you, Eli.
All right.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting. You ain't catching me on a bike. Not going fast like that. Nah.
I just like to see you on a bike.
I've ridden plenty of bikes. I'm just not riding. I'm not.
Yeah, but when
bombing a
was
hill.
the last time you rode a bike?
Probably 5 years ago with my kids.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have kids. I mean,
well,
I taught them all how to ride a bike. I
Yeah.
didn't do it by just standing there. I had a nice Trek bike, and I would ride with my kids all the time.
You know, it's funny. I was like, I looked forward to teaching that moment where you run behind the kid, and you hold their bike, and that was kind of one of those romantic moments that I had in my head. And Michaela, my firstborn, who's just a little younger than Elijah, she, when she was, I don't know, she was riding with training wheels. And I came home from work one day, and my wife said, well, hey, that moment that you wanted, I'm really sorry, but it's gone. What happened? Well, she just came in and asked me to take the training wheels off, and like, yeah, and you did? And she said, yes. And she just rode off, so there was no moment of running behind her and helping her. Anyhow, it's like, I don't think I had that moment with any of my kids. They just figured it out. So
nice.
Yep.
All right. On this day, which would be what, June 8th? In 1914, in De Bilt, Netherlands, it was 34.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the reason why that matters is because on this day, 1 year later, in De Bilt, Netherlands, it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit.
So say that
which
again.
Which is the biggest single temperature disparity in 1 year in one place ever.
From what
in
to
1914, it was 34.7 degrees Fahrenheit in De Bilt, Netherlands.
Okay.
On this day in 1915, it was 92 degrees Fahrenheit in De Bilt, Netherlands.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's like a 50...
weird
degree difference or something like that. In 1940, on this day, element 93, neptunium, was discovered. 1956, Richard Fitzgibbon was killed by another U.S. Air Force airman in Vietnam. So the very first American killed in Vietnam was friendly fire.
Oh, that's too bad.
1984, Ghostbusters was released. You want to know something crazy? On this day in 1984 as well, Gremlins was released. So Gremlins and Ghostbusters came out on the same day. That's crazy.
That is.
The number one song in 1991 on this day was Joyride by Roxette. And my quote for the day is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it is, what lies behind us and what lies in front of us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And so Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies in front of us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us.
Cool. Good.
That's all I got for a Tuesday.
All right.
We're out.
Thank you, Eastern Oregon, for joining us. And
I'll make a couple announcements before we go real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
Sports show Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 5:30. Eastern Oregon Alive. AM on EOAlive, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock. This week we'll have Cody Bowen, Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen on Thursday at 5:30. We have weather coming out on Fridays at 6. And then we have the daily news coming out every day at 5 o'clock with Megan Demersion, and she's killing it. And it's really good. And our weather kid, Gabe, is killing it. Everybody's doing awesome. And so tune in, like, share, follow, do all that social media mumbo jumbo that you guys do. That's how you can support us. And watching it is enough, but if you want to take that next step in supporting us, like, share, follow, share this with your friends.
Yep. Good deal.
Yep. See you on Thursday.
Right. Thank you.